Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Lioness Season 2, Episode 6, 2381. So with the caravan last week being blown up by a Mexican suicide bomber, Joe and her crew have to pick up the pieces and find out what the fuck went wrong, who informed them, the cartel that is, that they were coming to infiltrate them. Now before we get to more of that, Joe herself has to go back to her family now, and as she's on a plane going back, a private plane that is, she finds out that she was actually shot in combat. Look at my little precious here, my little precious nibbling on my watch. So, while she's in mid-flight and she's losing blood, the co-pilot has to perform some minor bits of surgery on her, to and like medical treatment, I guess, to basically keep her alive. And Joe does pass out at one particular point. The paramedics and the crew, when she lands, the plane lands in a earlier, like a more like closer destination than where they were supposed to go, so they can get treatment to her quicker. But that's Joe's character pretty much out for the rest of the episode. Now Kyle believes that they might be a mole in their ranks, and he's looking straight at Gutierrez. Now, the reason being is that Josie is now infiltrating her family's home. Josie being the new lioness, and she straight up just tells her dad, "Look, they know." And her dad basically goes, "Who's they?" And she goes, "They know." And she slaps her daughter. He slaps her daughter around a little bit, trying to find out what does exactly what she means by they. And she says the CIA. Now, by this particular time, Cruz, who's also staying with Josie, has had enough of seeing her colleague getting slapped around, infiltrates, and throws the father on the floor and puts a gun to his head. They're basically offering uh, Josie's dad a new life if he helps infiltrate his brother, who's the cartel king in Mexico. So we're already at this particular point regarding the family, and the family knows and all of that. The mother comes home later on. She's also been informed too. She gets taken back to base, and even the housekeeper. And there's one really cool moment which made me understand what was going on, because it wasn't necessarily explained to you, which was really good. You had to figure it out for yourself. Two Cups gets the housekeeper and finds out that she's wired, and so he immediately then takes her ring, her jewelry, anything that could be used as some sort of device that could maybe be a microphone of some sort or a camera or anything like that. At first, you just think he's fucking stealing her shit, but you do realize why he's doing it, because any of these devices, a ring, a chain, whatever, hair clips even, any of these things could be some form of communication device to go back to the cartel. And this is why Kyle now thinks that there's a fucking mole in the ranks, because the fucking housekeeper is wired up. He believes it's Gutierrez. I mean, who else could it be? Gutierrez was a new guy who came on the scene. So they're looking at him. And my God, did they torture the shit out of him. They waterboard him and everything. And to get information out of him. But they find out that he's not a mole, but he knows the housekeeper. She worked for him. And so in a way, he was using her to infiltrate Josephine's family without necessarily getting this woman into any more trouble, because he's got a sort of relationship with this lady as a previous employee. So that's why he did it, and that's why he never informed like the higher powers, so to speak, regarding this person infiltrating Josephine's house. Now, as you can see, this picture is of the delegates and these pencil pushers who basically call the shots. A lot of them know what's happened to the team, but some of them are really pissed off. Now, the people on the right side, which is Nicole Kidman and the bald dude, they're not the highest chain of command. The people on the left are actually their superiors, and obviously the superior of all of them is Morgan Freeman's character. But they're really pissed off the people on the right because of the devastation caused, people who've been killed and stuff like that. And you see them arguing, and then the people on the left are reminding them, "Listen, I don't give a fuck that you're pissed off. We're still your fucking bosses here." And the character of Zoe Saldana's character, she has a connection with some of these people because they do know her. They've worked with her for a while. She has been in the offices with these people, so she's no stranger. So when they find out that she's, in intensive care and all of that shit, they are concerned for her. But once again, it shows that these people, even though they have tough decisions to make, they're never gonna, they're never gonna be killed for what they do. Other people like Two Cups, like Joe, like Kyle, like Tucker, like Neil, all of these guys, they're the ones who, sorry, not Neil, I apologize, but they're the ones who end up having to execute the plans of the people sitting around that desk. It was another good episode because now how this episode ends is the vengeful look of Josephine's father looking at her daughter, thinking, the betrayal, he's feeling. But we've already come across his father last week and got a brief idea of who he is. He's a fucking asshole. So if he does get killed off in this series, I wouldn't fucking batter an eyelid. The mother, however, she might be a bit naive, a bit stupid, just playing along. Got to find out a little bit more about her. But, yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm having an issue with is now that we're 6 episodes, and I said this about previous episodes, yet we still haven't got Josephine infiltrating her uncle's establishment yet. When the fuck is that going to happen? Because before you know it, this show will be going towards the conclusion part. I do feel that when it comes to the infiltration, it's going to be very quickly done. It's going to probably cock up, fuck up. Josephine's going to be ousted very quickly, and then it's going to be wham bam thank you ma'am with machine guns blazing and Joe's team coming in to fucking save the day and all of that shit. I feel it's going to go kind of that direction, and it'll just show that Josephine, even though she's a lioness, she's nowhere near the level of Cruz, who is world fucking class. Josephine is a fucking amateur and needs to get back behind a fucking helicopter and pilot that shit because that's the only thing she's fucking good at. Regardless of me making these sort of criticisms, I love this episode. I love this show. It's just so fantastic. 9 out of 10 again. Bring it on, baby. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.